All right, guys, this is our fraction reteach. So we are going over fractions and how to solve them. So remember, we have two strategies for solving fractions. If we are multiplying, our rule is top times top, numerator to numerator, and bottom times bottom, denominator to denominator. If we are dividing, our rule is going to be keep, change, flip, where we keep our first fraction the same, we change from division to multiplication, and we flip our second fraction over using the reciprocal. So we're going to break down this example problem from our DCP. So it says Joe is painting birdhouses for a community project. He has 8 gallons of paint. So that's how much he has. He doesn't have any more. He doesn't have any less. He has 8 gallons of paint. And because he has 8 gallons, that is going to represent his total. That's all he has. It's his total. And it says, and each birdhouse requires 2/5 of a gallon of paint. So normally when we see fraction of, we would multiply. But in this case, we know the total, and total is more important. So anytime you know the total, you are going to be dividing. So, and if you think about this situation, he's using the paint. He's taking the paint and he's taking a little bit and making a birdhouse, and a little bit more and making a birdhouse, and a little bit more and making a birdhouse. And so because he's using the paint and thinking about that situation, we have to divide. Again, anytime you know your total, you are dividing. Okay, so that's just something we got to commit to memory. Knowing total is dividing. So I'm going to start with my total of 8 gallons. And I am going to divide by each birdhouse. So each birdhouse was 2/5 of a gallon. Well, I know that whole numbers like 8 go over 1 to make them fraction friendly. And remember, the rule for dividing was keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep 8 over 1. I'm going to change my division to multiplication. And I'm going to flip my fraction over to be 5 over 2. And then my rule is now a multiplying rule. So I'm going to follow my top times top, bottom times bottom. So I'm going to draw my arrows. And I'm going to say 8 times 5 is 40. And 40 divided by 2, because 1 times 2 is 2. I know that I can't leave a large cowboy and a small horse. So I need to cowboy and horse divide, and 40 divided by 2 is 20. So how many birdhouses can he paint? He can paint 20 birdhouses from his 8 gallons of paint. All right, so friendly reminders, when you know your total, total is always division. If you see fraction of, that is multiplying if you don't know your total. And remember, we can't leave a fraction improper, we must divide it. And remember, your rule for dividing is keep, change, flip, and whole numbers go over 1. So lots of things to remember and refresh our memories. All right, so go practice fractions.